Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Mechanical Engineering Made Easy with Neha Mishra, because it is actually easy. In the last video, we have studied different types of forces which are coplanar and non-coplanar. We have understood about them, and then we have taken one problem on concurrent type of force system. In this video, we will solve problem consisting of parallel type of force system, and we will see how easy it is to solve such type of force system. Here is the problem which we are going to solve in this video. See here, we have different types of parallel forces. Okay? All the forces here are vertical forces. They are not in the same directions. Few are upwards and few are downwards, but they all are parallel. Distance between them are not going to change across their line of action. So they are parallel. Okay. Now consider this as an object or rod, same as this line is drawn. Okay. And on this object or rod, these forces are acting. Okay. 200 force is acting in this direction. Now 500 force is acting in this direction. Again 350 force is acting from upwards. And these two forces are acting from downwards. Now because few forces are acting from upwards and few forces are acting from downwards, because of the resultant of all these forces, it may move either in this direction or in this direction. Okay. Now what we have to do is, we have to find the resultant of this parallel force system such that instead of applying all these forces, if we apply only that force at particular distance on this rod, it will give the same effect as it was giving before applying all these forces. Okay? With all these forces, it was giving like this. It was not going in this direction, it was going in this direction. So our resultant force should also give this direction. The two main important factors that we have to find in this parallel type of force system is your resultant magnitude. What will be the magnitude of force that we have to apply? Again, where we have to apply. If that magnitude we will apply here, it will bend like this. But we want in this direction. So, the magnitude of the force as well as the distance on this rod from where it has to be applied so that you get the same effect. Understood? Two things you have to find: magnitude and distance on this rod where it has to be applied. So now let's start with our problem. So our first step will be to find the magnitude of the resultant. What will be that one force and which direction it will be, such that it will give the same effect as all of these force. So in the last video also, for concurrent type of force system, we have studied to find R. What was the formula? It was square root of summation fx square and summation fy square. Okay? So what do you mean by summation fx? Summation of all the forces in x direction, and summation fy is nothing but summation of all the forces in y direction. So here summation of fx, for summation of fx, do we have any horizontal force here? No. So this component gets cancelled. So now for parallel type of force system where we have only vertical force, our R value will be nothing but summation of fy, because square root of square will be cancelled and you will get just summation of fy. Similarly, if we had only x direction forces, all the forces in only horizontal direction, then our R would be summation of fx. Now since all our forces are in vertical direction and parallel to each other, our resultant is nothing but summation of fy. The formula is same. Since here we don't have fx, hence R is nothing but equal to summation of fy. So now let's find out this magnitude first. So this is very simple. Again, to find summation, only one thing is important: which direction it is. If it is upwards, we will take it as positive. If it is downwards, we will take it as negative. Okay? So how many forces we have? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 forces. So see, first force is in downward direction, so we will take it as minus 200. Again, next force, second force is in upward direction, so plus 500. Third force is again in downward direction, so we will take it as minus 350. Fourth force is in upward direction, so plus 150. And again fifth force is in upward direction, so plus 200. Here, by using calculator, we have found that the resultant of this is nothing but equal to 300 Newton. How much is the sign? It is positive 300 Newton. 300 is the magnitude, plus is the direction of this force, upwards. Our resultant force will act in upward direction. Means what? In this rod, if we don't apply all these forces and if we apply only one force in this upward direction, it will give the same effect. Okay? Again, one more thing which is important is where should I apply this upward force? At the point A, at some distant point A, at some distance from B, where I have to actually apply this force 300 Newton in upward direction so that it will give the same effect. So our next step will be to find this distance x. Now this distance can be either from B or you can take it from A. Okay? Suppose I am finding this x distance from A. From A, at what distance we have to apply this force? Okay? From A, what will be the x, and from B, what will be the x. So now let's see how to find this x. And in this case, we are taking it from A. We are not taking it from B. You can take either from B or A. We are taking it from A. So to find this distance x, we have to use moment concept. Now how to use that concept? Let's see. It is also very simple. Okay, we have assumed that this is the rod and all these forces are acting on this rod and it is going to move in this direction. The effect of all the forces will be in this direction. Now we have found the resultant force such that we will apply only this force at some particular distance and it will also move the rod in this direction. Now, when this resultant force is acting, it is also giving this action, but actually from the original position at what distance it is moving. Okay? When all the forces were applied, it was giving this movement such that it had particular movement from its original position, from here till here, not above that and not below that. Okay, so your resultant should also give the same movement, same angle to this rod. After applying this rod, it should give the same position, not above this and not below this. So what it basically means, the movement due to all these forces which was giving to this rod is equal to the movement what this resultant is going to give this rod. Understood the concept? Now let's take its mathematical form. So we will take here movement of all the forces with respect to point A. Means all the forces with respect to point A, how much they were rotating, it will be same as resultant force with respect to point A. Movement of resultant force with respect to point A. Understood? See. Now we have to take movement of all these forces with respect to point A. Now you know the formula. I assume that you all know the formula for movement, which is nothing but force into distance. Now again, the direction of distance play a very important role. Whether to take it positive or negative, I'll show you how to take. See, we have to take movement about point A, so just place this finger about this point A. Now, for this, since this first force is passing through the same point, so there is no distance between this point and from this force. Okay, so movement we know, force into distance, but in this case, there is no distance between this point and between this force, so this will be equal to 0 because your distance is 0. So this force will have no moment at point A. Now we will start with second force. Now you will keep your finger at point A and now take the moment of this force. How you will take? See, the arrow is upwards, so bring that force toward this point in the same direction. How it is going? In the anti-clockwise direction. So I am taking this anti-clockwise direction as positive. Okay, so I will take it as positive. How much? Force into distance. Force is how much? 500 into distance is how much? Distance of this force till the point A. How much it is? 3. Okay. First movement of first force completed. Now for this next force, how much it is? Again you keep your finger at this point A, and in the direction of force bring it to that point. It is going clockwise. Now I told you for anti-clockwise we are taking as positive, for clockwise we will take negative, so it will come as negative. How much is the force? 350, and distance from this force till this point A, how much it is? 7.5. Now next force, again the same procedure. Put your finger at this point in the direction of arrow, bring this force towards the point, and it is going in the anti-clockwise direction. Again positive 150 into distance of this force till this point, which will be equal to 10, and again plus 200 into 12. So this value comes out to be 2775. What will be the unit, guys? Force into distance. Force was in Newton and distance was in meter. Okay. So now we have found out movement of all these forces about point A. Now this should be equal to movement of only the resultant force which will act at this block with respect to point A, as we discussed earlier. Now what do you mean by resultant movement of resultant force? Means what? When you will apply only this resultant force and here is the point A, what will be its movement? Now to find movement we should know this x. Okay, we know this value r, we know its direction, but we don't know this x. So what will be movement of r with respect to point A? Yes. Now put your finger at this point and bring this force along here, along this point. So it is coming in anti-clockwise direction. So it is positive. R is how much? We have seen r as 300. So 300. Now I will take this as x. Now I have told you that movement of all these forces will be equal to movement of this r about this point. Okay, now we have to just equate both these movement. Now we have full value of this movement and we have value of movement of resultant. Now we have to just equate these values. Now in both these values, what is unknown? Only x is unknown. So we can find out this x. Okay, see how simple it is. 2775 is equal to 300 times x. So what will be your x? X is 9.25 meter. Now 9.25 meter from where? From point A. It is very important. It is not from point B because we have taken all the moments from point A. So how much is this x coming as? It is coming as 9.25. So finally, how a rod will be? Yes, your force will be acting in upward direction, that we have found out, with magnitude 300 Newton, and it will act at 9.25 meter from point A. I hope this is clear to you now. So guys, the very first step we did was we found out the magnitude of r. How we found out the value of r? By the formula that we have, that is summation fx square plus summation fy square and their square root. Okay. Now since this was parallel type of problem, okay, and we had only vertical forces, so we had only summation fy in this case. So square root of summation fy square will be nothing but summation fy. The square root and square will get cancelled if your summation fx is 0, only in this problem. If in the question you had only horizontal forces, in that case your summation fy will be 0 and square root of summation fx square will be nothing but summation fx if you have only horizontal forces, and this is only if you have vertical forces. Now if you have combination of both these forces, then you have to use both these values. Understood? Only in this question we had only vertical forces, so RR was nothing but summation fy. And the next thing that we found out was x. Now what do you mean by x? X was what? When all the forces were acting, they were giving particular movement at this point A. Movement of all these forces with respect to point A. Now we should get same movement when this R is applied to this block. Why is it so? I have explained you before also. Suppose this was the bar and this is the point A, and before suppose all these forces were applying on this block and this block is moving in this direction. So when we remove all the forces and we apply only the resultant forces, again this block should move in this way only. It should not move more than that or less than that. It should give the same magnitude as all these forces were giving with respect to this A. So that's why movement of all these forces with respect to A should be equal to movement of this R with this point A. We don't know this distance of R from this point, so we denote it as x, and by equating both this equation we get the value of x. So how we found out the value of this x? With the help of moment. How? By equating moment of all the forces with the moment of the resultant force with same point, with the same point, and then you can find out x, as only x is unknown in these two equations. Understood guys? See how easy it was. By just taking these steps you found out R and you found out x. So guys, now I hope you have understood all these steps very clearly, and now you can solve any type of parallel force system problem very easily and without any mistake. So guys, if you have any doubt in this problem, do let me know and I will definitely help you. Again, if you have any doubt in any other mechanics subject or mechanical subject, do comment me or mail me in the link given below. If you like this video, do like, share, subscribe and comment. Thank you.